This video will show you how to replace the front inside door handle on a Mitsubishi Outlander. This will be mounted to your inside door panel. Let's get into it. Okay friend, let's get started on our job. Now to remove the door panel from this area, we're starting up along the top. In this upper corner, we can see that we do have a small triangular trim panel. Some of these applications will have a speaker located behind it, others will not. For this, I'm using a trim tool. I'm going to start breaking this free. We'll just give this a quick spin. Now I can see that I do have an electrical connector. On my application, it just goes into the trim panel. If there was a speaker, I would be dislodging it from that. As far as this electrical connector, I'm just taking hold. I'm going to give it a wiggle and slide it out of place. Every time I disconnect any electrical connector, I always take a peek for corrosion. This looks good, so I'm going to set it aside. Now let's move down towards our inside door handle. If you were looking behind the handle itself, you can see that there's a small trap door. We're going to have to dislodge that. I like to use an angled pick. Now that I have that separated, just a quick look along the back side, I can see all of my locking tabs. We'll set that aside. That exposes a Phillips head screw deep inside this area. Go ahead and remove that screw. There's my mounting screw. Now we're moving down towards our grab handle. Looking inside this area, we can see another plastic trap door. I have my pick. There's that small trap door. And we exposed our Phillips head screw. Go ahead and remove that. Now, of course, we do have some elements behind the door panel we're going to have to contend with. We have a wiring harness for the switches and everything, but we do have to pull the door panel away from the door to gain access. To do that, I'm using a small trim tool. Down along the bottom, you're going to find that there's access ports. You can make your way in and then gently start prying the door panel away from the door. As we pull it away, just keep in mind we do have that wiring harness along the backside. So I'm just using my trim tool. I'll find an area to gain access and just start pulling it away. Here we are. Now let's focus up along the top here. We're going to lift this up and away so we can gain access along the backside. So I have this pulled away. We can see our inside door handle cables and of course the door lock cable. I'm going to dislodge this entire unit. We have a Phillips head screw in the center. Remove that screw. You can slide that out of place. Now as far as the rest of the removal of the inside door handle, let's give it a twist so we can look along the inboard side here. We're going to start dislodging our cables. The process for one is the exact same thing as the other. You just don't want to mix them up during the installation process. We'll just have a quick look. If this was in place, the yellow connector is up along the top, the blue is down along the bottom. Just keep that in mind. To dislodge these, you can either do it by hand or you could gently pry using a small screwdriver if necessary. Just pull them out and through the slot. Now I'm paying attention to the cable area here. We're going to pivot this as necessary so we can slide the cable out and away. Of course, a thorough inspection of each cable as we continue on, replace it as necessary. That cable looks good. Same process for the next here. That cable looks good as well. And there it is, friend. All right, let's get ready to install the inside door handle. We're starting with the cables along the back side. As you remember, up along the top, we had the yellow connector and the blue down along the bottom. As far as these, the process will be the same for the installation. We're starting with the cable end. We're going to slide it in. We'll gently twist it, and now we have the next portion here. Line it up with the corresponding slot, press it in, and of course, make sure it's secure. We do not want this falling out while you're driving down the road. Same process for the next cable. Line it up, slide it into place. Both cables are properly secured in place. We're going to slide this through the door panel. We'll align the mounting hardware. We're going to start in that Phillips head screw and of course, snug it up. Right there is bottomed out. I'm just going a tiny bit further. I am only screwing into plastic. I do not want to strip this. Now let's prepare to align the door panel with the door. Along the top of the door panel, there's this small lip making its way all the way across. And if you are looking at the door itself, along the window channel, you can see where we have a small groove for that to slide into. That's where we're going to start, but I also want to point out along the side, we have several locking clips. Those need to press into their corresponding ports. Coming up nice and high, I'm going to attempt to slide that down into the right position here. Just a couple light taps along the top. Now I'm going to make sure I feel along the sides, confirming it is aligned, and then I'm going to tap it in all the way around the door panel. This feels good. Obviously, we do still have some hardware to install, but let's just make sure each one of those locking clips are properly secured in place first. Let's look inside of the grab handle. We need to install our mounting bolt here. It's easiest to reach in this area using a magnet if necessary. We'll make sure that's nice and tight and protect the area with its cover. Let's make our way towards the inside door handle next. We have our mounting screw for this. We have our plastic protective panel. We'll make sure we have it in the proper orientation. Pull on the handle, we should be able to slide this into position. There we are. Now we have our corner piece here. I'm just going to secure my wiring harness into the proper port. If you have a speaker, install it into that. Looking along the bottom of this, we do have one small locating tab. It slides in and behind the door panel. Then we also have a locking tab which would go into this port. Line it up, press it in, make sure it's secured in place. Okay friend, we finished the installation of our inside door handle. The next thing we want to do is test the functionality. We'll make sure we're in the unlocked position. Now over at the door latch, I'm using a 1/4 inch extension. This is going to act as the striker attached to the body of the vehicle. If I was to close the door, this would press in. Now I'm going to attempt to pull it like as if I was opening the door without pulling on the handle. It should not release. Now I'll pull on the handle, and it does release. Let's test that one more time. Pressing it in, holding pressure, and it releases. Thanks for watching.
When only the best will do, demand TRQ. The only company that lets you view before you do. TRQ is committed to offering the highest quality aftermarket auto parts that are engineered for peace of mind. Thanks for using and viewing with TRQ.